All right. So I'm having an issue, and I've put a lot of money into this thing trying to fix it, and I'm narrowing it down. But I thought I'd make this video, see if you guys have any great ideas. So what's going on is the speedometer is zeroing out or going sporadic. My turn signals are not canceling out, and my bike runs like shit intermittently. Now, that is all the classic signs of a speed sensor. All right. Also, I've taken it to 3 professionals. They all say it's the speed sensor. I've replaced the speed sensor twice. They're saying it's not getting a signal. I took it to Harley and they said it's not getting a signal. The speed sensor is not getting a signal. So I do have a power commander unit on this bike, and I'd like to know. I'm trying to get a hold of their tech support, but they are a little bit hard to get a hold of. And I want to find out if the speed sensor plugs into the power commander and gets its power from the power commander. If that's the case, I'm going to look at the power commander. If that's not the case, then and the speed sensor gets its power from the ECU, then I'm going to look at the ECU. And of course, the harness that goes from the speed sensor to the ECU. Because, to be honest with you, I have checked everything else. Everything else. When I took it to Harley, they said there's a couple codes, and that is the idle air control valve, or the idle air control module, and the speed sensor. Those are the only 2 codes present. So they said they took a look at the idle control module. They cleaned it, and they said there's no carbon buildup or anything like that. So I'm going to rule that out, even though there's a code for it. I'm thinking maybe this is an issue that could be caused by the speed sensor issue. And I've pretty much narrowed it down to the speed sensor circuit, but it's not the speed sensor itself. So my issue seems like it may be a easy fix thing, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. And I'll get you guys, when I do find the issue to this, I'll let you know, because there's got to be other people that are experiencing this. And I just got to put it out there that this is probably the worst case scenario. For the most part, if you are experiencing these symptoms, it is going to be a speed sensor. Mine is the complicated and expensive version to diagnose, because I've taken it to 3 different places and I've spent a lot of freaking money just replacing part after part after part. After it wasn't the speed sensor, I changed the crank sensor. After it wasn't the crank sensor, I changed a bunch of stuff. I mean, I've made sure the plugs are good. I've made sure the what do you call it? The ignition coils are good. I've made sure the fuel system is good. I've made sure I've done a lot. I have done a lot, and I'm tired of putting money into it. So getting to the end of what I think it could be. It's definitely speed sensor circuit. It's not the speed sensor though. So that's where I'm at. And God, this bike is beautiful though. I'm so pissed off I can't ride it right now. Anyway, that's my story. I'll give you an update. Hope to hear from some of your guys' stories to maybe give me some ideas as well, because I'm sick of... Oh, by the way, charging system is good. Charging system is good. I've checked the charging system. I've checked just the stator, the voltage regulator. It has been replaced. So, yeah. It's not that. Harley said they checked for shorts. So I'm leaning that to the case where it's not the harness on the speed sensor, because they would have probably seen a short somewhere if it was the harness. But I'm going to check it anyway. So I got to kind of tear this. I got to trace this speed sensor wire. It's the speed sensor. This is a Harley Sportster 48, 2012, by the way. And speed sensor down in there. So I gotta freaking maneuver some stuff around to kind of trace that wire, see where it plugs into. I'm assuming it's gonna go right to the ECU. If not, and then it's gonna go into the power commander and then into the ECU. So I don't know. I by the way, one of the mechanics that was working on the bike said he did unplug the power commander and the bike still rode the same. So if he did unplug the power commander, then that would mean that the power commander is not at fault. And this is, I mean, it's either got to be harness or ECU, in my opinion, unless you guys have any other bright ideas, and I'd like to hear them. All right, Nathan out.